is no evidence that the worship movement of the last 20 years has created Christ-like people. The evidence is that we've created exactly the opposite. We've created an evangelical church system that looks much more like the rulers of this world, which is why we fall for them. When you look at how we're being formed by worship today, we're not being formed towards Christ. If our songs can be sung on the capitals of our seats of government and everyone just be totally cool with that, oh, these two things are the same. And you don't even recognize the heresy of that whole thing. Whatever songs you're singing up there, they're shallow, they're vapid, they're not confrontational to the world. They're not declaring another king. We have created such shallow culture around church, around worship. It should be readily recognizable when things are getting off track. Look at the church. Look at Jesus. We're getting people to come in through cool branding, famous rock and roll leaders leading our worship. Jesus is drawing people in with himself, with his character, with the fruits of the Spirit. You are drawing them in with an Easter service at the stadium and a rock star and an NFL player who has 5 Super Bowl rings and is a bajillionaire. He's going to be the guest speaker. If we take Jesus seriously, then we will take Jesus seriously when he said, I am the door. Show people Jesus. Everyone wants the fruit of the Spirit. We think everyone wants iPad raffles, helicopter egg drops, well-curated Instagram accounts. What people want, actual human beings all over this world, every one of them wants love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And we are creating systems that produce the exact opposite.
In full disclosure, I am not a scholar of church history, particularly in the area of worship, and so I just admit that, but I do want to comment on this. It sounds to me that what this is a gross overcharacterization of the worship movement of the last 20 years. And so if you are a church historian that specializes in the area of worship, I would love for you to speak into this. Over the last 20 years, has the church not, the worship movement, not created any followers of Christ? And I just want to give you one example of the impact of worship over the last 20 years. Me. I myself, and so let me just give you a personal testimony and witness. I am a product of the worship movement of the last 20 years. I remember sitting and watching as thousands of students gathered in a farm in the middle of a gigantic rainstorm. And I watched as they took the cross on their shoulders and they brought the cross from the very back of this field up through the crowd to the very center of that stage and bowed and bended knee in giving kingship and authority rightfully at the cross to King Jesus. And so that sparked in me a love and affection for King Jesus. It sparked a desire to learn and grow in theology, and it has fundamentally shaped me into the cruciform life that I seek after. And so I just think that we have to be careful. We have to be careful that we don't create a long shadow over faithful movements of God that are doing the very best that they can in order to uphold and make known the renown of King Jesus. And we should also address some of the darker sides of the movements that where pride does seep in, where there is this seduction for fame, and we should address that. I just think we have to be careful that we don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So just my thoughts. Again, in the comments, let me know what you think.